The number of people infected with coronavirus is still on the rise. China is reporting close to 78,000 cases, but the illness is taking a toll on many countries. This week, White House officials are expected to ask Congress for emergency funding to battle the coronavirus. There are more than 30 confirmed cases in the United States.
Channel 9 has learned that there is significant concern right now for a woman who is sick in Catawba County who recently returned from China.
Again, there are no confirmed cases of coronavirus anywhere in the Carolinas tonight. Channel 9's Dave Ferry, though, been investigating this for the past 2 days now, and he's live on what we do know about this certain case. Dave?
And Scott, we just got a statement from the town of Claremont confirming to Channel 9 the initial call in all this was a welfare check that brought both sheriff deputies and EMS to that home just north of town. I got a chance to talk with the woman's pastor earlier today. He tells me that she became sick after traveling to Southeast Asia.
Today, the governor did announce a task force to get ready for the coronavirus if it shows up in North Carolina.
Now, this sets up the coordination between agencies like the Department of Health and Human Services, State Emergency Management, and the Department of Public Safety. In Charlotte, we've been telling you that bus drivers are now worried about the coronavirus too. Each one of them coming into contact with hundreds of people every day they're transporting. They're asking CATS officials for more tools to try to prevent the spread of the illness.
And we want to get ahead of it. One exposure to one employee on the job here can infect the administration, the general public, and our families.
Breaking news coming in right now about the virus that so many of us have been watching so closely. A Channel 9 source just confirmed for us that 4 people in Mecklenburg County are being monitored for coronavirus for the next 14 days. The virus has now killed more than 600 people, mainly in China, 630 people. Globally, it's infected more than 31,000 people across 25 countries. That cruise ship in Japan is just one of 2 being held in quarantine in Asia.
Let's bring in our Joe Bruno right now. Joe, you're talking to some sources about this. What are they telling you?
So first and foremost, my source wants to reiterate there are no confirmed cases of coronavirus in Mecklenburg County right now. Mecklenburg County is also considered a very low risk.
And the growing concerns at Charlotte Douglas Airport tonight, a South Carolina man who tested positive for coronavirus actually flew through the airport on his way home from hard-hit Italy.
But please keep in mind, though, the CDC does not believe that anyone else on that plane or in the airport at the time is at risk. And there are still no confirmed cases right now in Mecklenburg County, home to Charlotte Douglas Airport. Now, in all of North Carolina, 2 cases so far, 1 in Wake and 1 in Chatham counties. Today, South Carolina's numbers grew to 7 cases there. 5 of them in Kershaw County, 1 in Spartanburg County, and 1 in Charleston County.
But we now know a South Carolina man presumed to have the coronavirus flew into the airport before heading back to South Carolina.
That individual returned from Italy, was not symptomatic at the time that they disembarked at the airport. It was a day or 2 after they went back to South Carolina before they started showing symptoms.
North Carolina under a state of emergency tonight as the number of coronavirus cases continues to grow.
Yes, the governor held 2 news conferences today explaining what the declaration means for you.
It protects consumers from price gouging. It encourages insurers to make testing available for little or no cost.
Now, Governor Cooper went on to say that the state has enough supplies to test 300 more people. He also reiterated the groups who are most at risk, those who are older than age 65 or those who have a chronic health condition. Now, the state is urging those groups specifically to avoid large gatherings like going to church services. Governor Cooper said while he expects more cases to come, we can limit the number of people who get seriously ill from this.
Right now, 7 confirmed cases in North Carolina, 6 in Wake County and 1 in Chatham. 2 new cases just announced in South Carolina, so the total there is 9 now. There are 7 in Kershaw County, 1 in Charleston County, and also a case in Spartanburg County.
We are looking into what CMS is doing to keep students safe while they are on the school buses. Now today, our education reporter Elsa Gillis took that question straight to district officials. And Elsa, what did you learn?
Well, we know these buses and drivers have a big job to do. They carry a lot of kids, and it appears from the lot behind me that many of them are still out for the day dropping students off. And right now, a district rep tells me nothing different is being done on the buses. That rep says that drivers are expected to sweep buses after every shift. Overall, the district says it's reinforcing cleaning standards at schools and office buildings and constantly working to ensure every student has adequate access to cleaning supplies. That includes soap in bathrooms. It is important to remember, while we all need to take precautions, health professionals are telling us children are generally not in the high-risk group for this virus. And that was something addressed today by the State Department of Health and Human Services.
So tonight we want to break down a few of the myths and the truth according to the World Health Organization. Despite what you've heard, hand dryers are not effective in killing the virus. Spraying alcohol or chlorine bleach on yourself, that is not a healthy way to kill the virus. There is nothing unsafe about opening a package that you might receive from China. And there is not a pneumonia vaccine that can protect against coronavirus.
Now, the Lancaster County School District is taking precautions after a woman tested positive in the county. This would be the first confirmed case in the Channel 9 viewing area.
This morning, that woman is in isolation at the hospital. Reporter Aaron Edwards found out the district's new plan moving forward.
The Lancaster County School District sent out a memo to parents. It says the district has not been notified by Rtdnac that this case is related to any schools at this time. The district is also immediately suspending all field trips and limiting the amount of visitors and volunteers.
A number of changes coming tomorrow across the Carolinas as the virus spreads. Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Wickersham.
I'm Erica Bryant. We want to break all of this down for you, starting with schools. 3 large private schools in Charlotte plan to close tomorrow. Charlotte Country Day, Charlotte Latin, and Providence Day. Also, no school at Covenant Day and Socrates Academy in Matthews and Arborbrook Christian Academy. No classes there for the next 2 weeks. However, all schools in Cabarrus County will be operating on a normal schedule tomorrow, even though someone has tested positive there for the virus and had come in contact with a student at Cox Mill Elementary.
Tonight, parents got this message from the school.
Cox Mill Elementary and Cabarrus County schools continue to take safety precautions and proactive measures to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19. Please know that we take the health and safety of our students and staff very seriously and will always err on the side of caution. We thank you for your cooperation and patience.
Governor Roy Cooper has recommended the entire state postpone or cancel any event that has more than 100 people, and that starts tomorrow. Our anchor Genevieve Curtis learned while many places of worship are taking heed, they're actually canceling services.
Some church leaders still want to connect virtually, though, and Genevieve is standing by with the latest on that.
Yeah, Erica and Scott, it certainly is a very difficult decision for many faith leaders. But just a few hours ago, United Methodist bishops in North Carolina asked their pastors to suspend public worship for the next 2 weeks and to take those services online instead.
First and foremost, Mecklenburg County's first 2 cases of coronavirus.
Yeah, you just saw that announcement coming in the last 30 minutes. So let me go over what we now know. 2 patients tested positive in Mecklenburg County. The health department doesn't know if both are from Mecklenburg County, but we know at least one is. They're both in isolation at home and they are doing well. The health department is now retracing their steps to identify anyone that might have been exposed.
They're isolating at home. They're not severely ill. And we need to be supportive as a community.
In just the last 90 minutes, the governor making that order to close all schools for at least 2 weeks starting on Monday. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Genevieve Curtis. Governor Roy Cooper announcing the wide-ranging executive order to combat coronavirus. Now, as we said, that order directs K-12 public schools across the state to close for students starting on Monday, and that's going to last for at least 2 weeks.
Now, as you know, we are typically right next to each other here at the anchor desk, but as we all work to distance ourselves and practice that social distancing to keep the coronavirus from spreading, there will be some differences in how we bring you the news every day.
Of course, we want to make sure we continue to keep you all informed, but to do it in a healthy way according to the recommendations we all need to follow.
Right.
Tonight in the Charlotte area alone, already 22 blood drives have been canceled because of concerns over the coronavirus. That means 700 units of blood won't be collected, and across the Carolinas, the impact is even worse.
A lot of things just happened about 10 minutes ago. First of all, Councilman Braxton Winston said we shouldn't be here. This meeting shouldn't be happening like it is right now. It should be a virtual meeting. We're in the chamber right now. That's a live stream of leaders upstairs in room 267 having the zoning meeting. The public and the media is being told to be down here in the chamber. They have these blue tape marks set up over here. The public's supposed to sit on those tape marks because they're about 6 feet or so away from each other to practice social distancing.
It's very candid. It says we'll be closed until we are able to understand, and that's the word I really like, more about the virus. That really just says it all. There really is no playbook for this, so who knows what this all means, how long all of this will take.
I want you to take now a look at this graphic we put together to show you the progression of COVID-19 in Mecklenburg County. The first case back on March 13th. And here you can see the steady daily rise as more testing was done. A few bigger jumps last week, and then that rise again from yesterday to today. 108 cases up to 142 as of noon today.
Now, the stay-at-home order in Mecklenburg County will take effect at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning.
Channel 9's government reporter Joe Bruno has been getting a steady flow of information from the county. He's live now to explain what this means for families, and they have a lot of questions, Joe.
Yeah, this is a major order. It impacts every single person in Mecklenburg County, even if you work in another county, and there's a lot to go over. But let me just say, this is something that the CEOs of the two major hospital systems, Novant and Atrium, they both asked for this, and today they're getting it. It will go into effect Thursday at 8 a.m. So let's talk about this stay-at-home order and what's impacted. Here are some things that are still allowed to be open: grocery stores, pharmacies, medical offices, laundromats, banks, and restaurants for off-premise consumption. We're talking delivery and takeout. Now, some things that are not allowed: having friends over, non-essential travel, work for a non-essential business. One example they put out there is if you work in another county like Union and that business is not essential, you are not allowed to go to work. Now, there are a whole lot more categories of things that are allowed and aren't allowed. We're going to work through the night to make sure that we get a full list of those online and answer any questions that people have. But there will be pain. That's something that the emergency management director told county commissioners. This is not an easy order to follow. A lot of people's everyday lives will be altered because of this.